course, we're going to teach you multiple ways of monetizing your content. But by far, selling information products is my favorite. Why? Because you can make 10 times as much money selling an information product than any other method we teach you. I know this because that's what happened with Simple Pickup. Near the start of our channel, we were making about $3,000 a month from advertising. It was a horrible deal. We were getting over 3 million views on our videos per month and making a measly $3,000. Now, $3,000 for one person isn't too bad, but we were splitting that among 4 people. In other words, we were broke. All I ate were TV dinners because that's literally all I could afford. I would go to this shitty supermarket, go into the frozen food section, and pick up a $1.99 TV dinner every single night. I think we can all agree that that's nobody's ideal life. I wanted to be trying new restaurants in LA, not trying to decide between lean cuisine and Stouffer's. But less than 1 month later, we made $30,000. I went from eating TV dinners to taking my parents out to $300 tasting dinners and barely even glancing at the bill. The craziest part? That revenue was recurring. The following month, we made another $30K without any additional work, and again and again and again, every single month. All because of one information product. You see why it's my favorite method of monetization now? Selling information products is so lucrative that we're flabbergasted more YouTubers are not doing this. While everyone has considered selling merchandise or signing a brand deal, almost no influencers sell information products, despite the enormous benefits. In this section, we're going to show you how you can start selling your own information product with a super simple formula we call the problem solution framework. It sounds complicated, but it's not really. There's just 3 steps you have to follow. You figure out your audience's biggest problem, you turn the solution to that problem into a course, and then you launch that course to your audience. In the rest of this video, I'm going to walk you through each step in detail. If you've never heard of information products before, what we're going to tell you might sound complicated, maybe even overwhelming, but that's okay. The first time you watch this, just absorb all the information. Then go back through it and take it chunk by chunk. Before we start with the problem solution framework, let's answer a question. What is an information product? Don't be scared by the academic sounding name. The information product is simply information that helps improve your audience's life in a specific way, sold at a specific price. From now on, for brevity, we'll call them info products. There are many different types of info products. Here are samples. A book. That's right. A book, after all, is just information. Keith Ferrazzi's Never Eat Alone. This is an information product. An ebook. For example, we recently wrote one on online dating called Swipe Text Date. And ebooks are super easy because there's no physical copy of the book. All you have to do is order it online and they receive it digitally. A video course. For example, this course, what you're watching right now, and all the other videos on this site is an info product. You could also provide Skype coaching. For example, people do Skype coaching sessions even when it comes to things like dog training. In my case, I hired a really good dog trainer to coach me on how to give my dog obedience training. And I did it through Skype. All I had to do is position my camera so you could see me and my dog. I paid $200 an hour for that. That is an example of an info product. A private forum or community. For example, there is a paid forum called Stack That Money where you pay a monthly fee to get access to a community of affiliate marketers so you can talk about how to sell affiliate products. Maybe you could create an audio recording. For example, Headspace, the popular meditation app, despite the fancy technology, is at core an information product. You could host interviews and podcasts. For example, Mixergy is a paid site that is simply a collection of interviews by famous entrepreneurs. You could run seminars or boot camps. All the learn how to become a computer programmer in 3 months programs out there, from General Assembly to 1 month, are info products, whether they're in person or purely online. Do you get the picture? You yourself probably bought a couple information products in your life. There are many, many types of info products. All of them, though, have one thing in common. Information being sold will help you improve a specific area of your life. For our purposes, we're going to cover video courses specifically as information products, but keep in mind, these lessons can be applied to all info products. The reason we're going to be covering a video course is because people associate video with higher value. For example, if all the information in this course was given to you in a book, you wouldn't think it was worth as much as it would be if it was given to you in a video course just like this. On top of that, you are a YouTube influencer. Your medium is video. So it just makes sense for you to sell something to your audience that is also in a video format. So the first step in the problem solution framework is figuring out your audience's biggest problem. For Simple Pickup, we didn't even realize we were creating an info product when we put out our first one. At the time, we had no idea what an info product even was. All we knew was that every single time we put up a video of us saying cheesy pickup lines to girls, we we got a few dozen comments from guys saying things like, I paid to be able to access the unedited version of this video. Our videos only showed snippets of our conversations with girls, but we never showed the full unedited conversation. These guys who were commenting wanted the entire interaction. The first few times we saw these comments, we shrugged them off. I mean, people say they pay for stuff all the time, but they don't necessarily mean it. But these guys meant it. The guys who watched our videos had social anxiety, depression, and overall pretty bad sense of social skills and confidence. For them, being able to learn from the uncut versions of our YouTube videos would provide immense value to them. They weren't just saying it for fun, they were saying it because they wanted to learn more. This was their biggest problem. They wanted to know how to have an engaging, normal conversation with someone else. So that's exactly what we gave them. We spent a month putting together a bunch of unedited videos for them to learn from. We charged $5 per month to access a private library set up through WordPress. I'll be honest, a month's worth of work is a lot, but we made almost 10 times our revenue immediately after we launched. It was totally worth it. In the same way, you need to figure out what your audience's biggest problem is. We call this the pain point. A pain point is something that keeps your audience up at night. For instance, I need to lose weight, ask out that girl, improve at tennis, land more sales, get better at public speaking, dress better. Now we're going to find out what that pain point is for your audience. There are 3 ways to do it. 1, look at the comments on your videos. Read every single comment on every single video. Do you notice any recurring themes? Are people continuously asking for the same things over and over? 2, if you're still not sure, just ask them. At the end of your next YouTube video, you can say, hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If there's anything that you want to see me make more videos on, let me know in the comments below. I want to continue making content that really impacts your life, so let me know what I can cover. And 3, you can literally just survey your audience. Just put a survey link in the description of your next video and send them to something like Typeform, which is free, by the way. Ask them what the #1 problem in their life is. Ask them what they would pay if someone could solve that problem. In the worksheets accompanying this video, we give you the exact surveys we use for our channel and the types of responses that you can expect. These are the same surveys that we used before we launched multi-million-dollar information products. Based on the data you've collected, you should have a good sense of the biggest problem your audience has. This first step should take you about a week to do, so don't rush it. The second step in the problem solution framework is figuring out the solution to that problem and turning that solution into an information product. Sam and Colby are 2 Viners that we at JumpCut worked with to create their own information product. After surveying their audience, we realized that most of them were teenage girls between the age of 12 and 18 who were dealing with things like bullying, low self-esteem, and depression. And we also realized after we surveyed them that they watched the Sam and Colby videos to feel happier and more positive about themselves. The info product that Sam and Colby created was called The Life Project. It was a series of videos aimed at their core audience that taught them topics like how to build self-esteem, the importance of taking action, living in the moment, overcoming procrastination, and how to deal with bullies. Filming the videos took the 2 of them less than a month to do. After they launched the product, they ended up making more than $15,000 a month from it in recurring revenue. And I really want to stress that. Recurring revenue, meaning every single month. Because remember, the subscription product, you're going to do the same thing with your info product. Now that you know your audience's biggest pain point, the second step is to figure out the solution to that problem and turn it into an info product. It should not be complicated. For your first version of your info product, it should just be you talking to the camera about how to solve their pain point. Don't worry if you don't get everything right the first time. For sample pickup, we made a ton of mistakes doing it our first time, and we knew we would, so we charged a lower price for the product. As you're creating your info product, here are the 6 things you need to do. 1, figure out the format for your course. Most of the time, your product should be a series of videos, but it might make sense, depending on your audience's biggest pain point, to create your info product in a different format. In the worksheets for this video, we've listed a ton of examples of info products, so that you can see if another format might make more sense for you. One tip to keep in mind, different formats have different types of perceived values. For instance, people will pay more for a video course than an ebook, even if the information in both is exactly the same. 2, name your course. This is pretty self-explanatory. You need to give your product an amazing name that immediately helps explain the big primary benefit. We'll give you some examples later for inspiration. 3, outline your course. Before you start writing anything, lay out your product in a logical manner. How many videos are you going to create? What topics are you going to cover? What type of content do you need to create in order to solve your user's pain point? For inspiration, look at your favorite self-help book or another info product if you've already bought one before. Don't overthink this. You know how to do this better than you think. 4, write out the course. After you finish the outline, write out the videos you're going to create. Here are a few tips for this section. information. Remember, people are buying from you for a reason. The best way to get your information to stick is to tie it to a story from your life. That's why throughout this entire course, we tell so many stories. People remember stories. 2, it should feel colorful, engaging, and uniquely you. In other words, make it fun. Imagine reading a textbook versus your favorite novel. With each lesson you teach, your product should be telling a story at the same time. Don't mistake great storytelling with cool visuals. The 5th thing you need to do is film and edit the course. If you've been making YouTube videos for your channel, this part should be easy. Just keep in mind that the quality for your info product, especially your first version of it, doesn't need to be amazing. The most important thing is you give out all the information that you need to. And lastly, put your course online. There are dozens of platforms that you can use to sell your info product, even if you don't have a single drop of technical experience. You don't need to hire an engineering team. You don't need designers. You can literally do everything yourself and set up your course completely in under an hour. A few of our favorite sites for this include VHX, Teachable, PivotShare, and Vimeo On Demand. You'll find a comprehensive list of tools in the worksheet associated with this video. After you do all these steps, you'll have your info product that directly solves the pain point that your audience has. When we did this for Simple Pickup, it took us a little over a month to do without any framework to help us. It should take you anywhere between 2 weeks to a little over a month to do this, which might sound like a lot, but remember, once you do this once, you're done forever, even though it will keep generating revenue for you for years. Now at this point, people have 2 main concerns. The first one we hear a lot goes like this: Jesse, I know the product I should create, but I'm not an expert. I can't do it. My answer is bullshit. Don't get caught up thinking that you need to have a PhD to teach. Your specific life experiences already make you an expert. For our channel, Simple Pickup, Colin and I didn't go to college knowing how to defeat social anxiety or communicate better or to be more confident. We didn't major in psychology or become a therapist. But what we did have through years of trial and error were real life experiences that mirrored the experiences of millions of other men in the world, specifically the men in our audience. Now, for Sam and Colby, almost all their videos cover topics you can find in a simple Google search. Things like how to stay positive, how to deal with bullies, how to overcome procrastination. But their audience paid for their content because it was them talking about it through their own unique experiences. The simplest way to think about it is this: no matter what pain point you're solving, the most important thing is that your audience wants to hear it from you. You're an expert as long as you know more than your audience, and you can provide any sort of guidance that someone thinks is valuable. I mean, just look at all the lives we've improved with our products from Simple Pickup.
Before starting Project Go, I didn't have a dating life. I was always trapped with insecurity, not knowing what to say.
I was too scared to ask a girl out, like I was just too shy. So I knew this was a problem, and I was living it.
I knew you guys were the real deal, so I signed up straight away. I just wanted to improve my life, better myself, just become a confident person, talk to whoever the hell I want.
What made me finally join was just going online, doing a lot of research. I saw that other people wrote about the results they had, and I knew I had to try it out for myself. I was skeptical about whether this would be a fucking huge waste of money or the best decision in my life.
Once I actually start investing my own money into it, that's when I'll actually follow through and do what Project Go would tell me to do to get good women. Project Go helped me by basically being the guidelines to my journey. It also gave me strategies, for example, things that I never thought would be possible, like having an Insta date, talking with random girls. After doing Project Go, it basically taught me that certain things, like concepts that I never thought would be possible, were actually possible.
What you just heard would have never been possible if we told ourselves, we're no experts on the subject, or we can't make or market products like this. Now, if your audience wants to help in areas that you actually don't think you know enough about, then go learn about them. I guarantee you that if you dedicate even a month of your time to learning, you'll know more than 99% of the people who will be looking up to you. And the second concern you might have is that there's too much competition in your market. Honestly, don't worry about that either. Even if you think there are better products in the market, your audience is following you because they want to learn from you. One of the secrets about info products is that the person who is teaching it is more important than the information they give. When you have an emotional connection to the teacher, the info has a much greater impact. Even the smallest piece of advice will have a huge effect on your life. This is because your audience knows you, they like you, and they trust you, and you know what their biggest pain point is. You're speaking their language. If you offer them a solution to that pain point, they won't hesitate to buy it. Even if there are a million books on your topic, leadership, sales, confidence, meditation, people usually gravitate to specific influencers with specific life backgrounds and stories. They're There never is just one leader that dominates an entire category. There are always niches. When you have an audience that listens to you and follows your every video, you can sell them whatever you want. Now let's get to the last step in the problem solution framework, launching the course to your audience. Now that you have a course that's ready to sell, it's time to actually sell it. So how do you sell it? How do you launch this product? The best and easiest way to do it is to simply create a video on your YouTube channel that introduces and pitches your product. And the golden rule for this sales video is you are not selling the information, but rather the transformation that they're going to experience. For example, I'm in the market to buy a sports car. I don't care how many cylinders the engine has. I'm not a car guy, and this is the case for most people. You just want to experience the exhilarating feeling of sitting behind the wheel, feeling and looking cool, hearing the roar of the engine, and being able to drive fast. That's how cars sell. In the same way, people care less about the information in your product and more about what it will do for them. Always focus on the transformational aspect of your products when it comes to marketing it to your audience. So when you create this video, don't focus on the nitty-gritty details of the product. Instead, tell a story. Get really personal. Tell them your own rags to riches story. Explain how you went through your own journey. Talk about the lows, the highs. Be bold. Make sure they can easily tell how large of a transformation they can make in their life. After that, explain how you put all that information into a product that can help them make the same transformation. Then at the end of the video, give them a way to buy it. Keep it really simple and keep it genuine. In the worksheets accompanying this section, we've included a few of our favorite sales videos that you can use as inspiration for your own. Now, I'll be honest with you. Like I mentioned in the priming then pitching video in this section, it might feel weird to initially sell to your audience. It might feel even weirder when you're selling an info product because it's a totally different thing than selling a funny sweatshirt or doing a brand deal. Because unlike something like merchandise, you're going to pour hours into this product, and it's going to be 100% you. For us, we were pretty nervous before we launched our first video selling our info product. We weren't sure if we were qualified to give advice. We weren't sure if $5 was too much money or not enough money. But probably the biggest fear of all was we weren't sure if people would actually buy. If you identify with any of these thoughts, you have to internalize this. People pay for value. Your product is going to help your audience, and that's pretty damn cool. That's all you need to remember. When you truly provide value to your audience, your product will sell. So when you create your video, do it with confidence. Be proud. You're going to make a huge difference in their life. That's it. Those are the steps in the problem solution framework. Follow these steps and you could easily 10x your current revenue on your channel in less than a month. Now, as you go back over this video and actually start following the steps in them, a lot of different questions will pop up. And that's totally reasonable. This topic can get really, really dense. We could have spent 3 hours talking about this. That's why, accompanying this video, we have a comprehensive set of worksheets that will help you answer any advanced questions you have as you create your own info product. We'll also constantly monitor the comment section and make sure to help you with every question that isn't answered in this video. As you get more advanced, you'll want to do more things that optimize your product and your marketing funnel. Those resources are also included in the worksheet section of this course. And again, this is my favorite way of monetizing because not only do you get to make a lot of money, but you're also providing your audience with immense value. After you create your own information product, please share it with us. Post it in the forum or even in the comment section of this video. We cannot wait to hear about your success. Selling t-shirts, mugs, stickers, you've seen it done before. But just because the merch game is traditional doesn't mean you should discount it. In fact, what it does mean is just one thing. Merchandise has stood the test of time. Celebrities, influencers, and brands alike all realize that merch is a huge moneymaker, which is why they'll continue selling products for decades to come. When it comes to selling merchandise, profit margins are huge. In almost all cases, when you sell merch as an influencer, the profits are almost entirely yours, minus production and design costs. Translation, YouTube doesn't take some ridiculous 45% cut. The fact is, merch can be a great source of income for YouTubers. And on top of that, it's so easy to start a merch business, even if you're not a designer. That's why we were so quick to get into the merch game. Merch accounted for a significant chunk of our profits when we were literally doing next to nothing, as in only releasing one t-shirt per month. Imagine what you can make if you put in just some effort. Merch certainly has a ton of potential to supplement your income as a YouTuber, yet oddly enough, it's often one of the most overlooked sources of potential revenue generation. Now, let's dive into who is best suited to sell merch, and the simple steps you can take to get it done. True fans should be the fans you speak to. Your true fans look to you as their favorite influencer. They're the kind of people who will travel ungodly distances or spend crazy money just to shake your hand. And they do exist. When we did our second Jump Cut Los Angeles meetup back in July, there was a fan who literally flew in from Wisconsin for 24 hours just to meet his favorite creators at a 2-hour event. That is a true fan. Before you decide to sell anything like merchandise, you should have at least 1,000 true fans like that to sell to. How can you track this? Well, you can go about it the hard way and make guesses based on your subscriber count, video interactions, and miscellaneous stuff like that. Or you can try something a bit more concrete. With one of our channels, Simple Pickup, we literally started an opt-in email list called True Fans. Those who signed up were definitely our true fans in the sense that they considered us one of their favorite influencers. By giving us their email address, they were basically saying, "We love what you have to say, and we want to receive as much content from you as possible." That is a true fan. Now, in order to measure your true fan audience, set up a similar system that can give you more concrete measurements of your best fans, and don't just rely on your total following. The easiest way to go about doing this is by opening an email list like we did. There are tons of services that let you do this very easily. My favorite is MailChimp, and it's a great email management tool that's perfect for beginners. It has a simple interface, and you can set up a MailChimp account with up to 2,000 subscribers for free. Remember, before you start selling anything, aim for having at least 1,000 true fans. It's the easiest way to guarantee your merch is going to sell and make you more profitable. So now let's talk about deciding what to sell. This is the step where people screw up the most. Just look at the really, really shitty examples of merch out there. Don't just throw your logo on a shirt and assume it's going to sell. Think about your true fans first. Ask yourself, what would my true fans get the most use out of? What kinds of things do they like? What are their goals? What do they really want? Have they already made requests for specific kinds of merch? What kind of products or designs could not only be applied directly to my subscribers, but also to the larger demographic they make up? Go beyond the product. We've mentioned Arya from Simple Sexy Stupid many times throughout this course. Now, a fun fact, he is making a killing in the merch game. His Bay shirts have raked in nearly $70,000 so far. But they weren't just a college word written in a fratty font that slapped on a t-shirt. There was a lot of research and meaning that went behind it. And that allowed the product to connect with fans on a deeper level. And he was also able to triple his sales within months. So go through your emails, comments, and check all your social media accounts to answer those questions. Create a list of things your fans keep quoting you on, or what you've said that has left an impression on them. Listen to them over your own personal preferences, because in the end, it's them who will be buying your merch, not you. A really great way to do this is to survey your audience. Remember that email list we told you to set up? Use it. Send out surveys to your email list using programs like SurveyMonkey or Typeform, or even Google Forms. These are all free. And by the way, in the worksheet associated with this lesson, we've included a survey template with questions we asked our fans to get a better sense of what merch to sell them. And here's another pro tip. You can split your list into 2 groups and test out different price points to your merchandise in order to maximize your profits later on. Arya sent out a handful of surveys before he was able to figure out the Bay shirt design. In those surveys, what he realized was that his audience was filled with guys who needed a little help talking to girls. Well, it turns out that the Bay design ended up being a great conversation starter, and guys felt the Bay message gave them a more positive portrayal, like they were more Bay material when wearing the shirts. Don't underestimate the deeper meaning products and messaging can have with your audience. Sure, sometimes your logo or slogan can be the best thing you can put on a t-shirt, and that's totally fine. But don't come to that conclusion without really getting to know your audience first. Read their comments, survey them, find out who they really are inside, what they want, as well as their pain points. Use that data to guide your choices when making a product and design decisions. So we all know what the general merch options are: t-shirts, stickers, tote bags, badges, mugs. But think outside of the box. I want to give you some examples of people that used a really non-traditional and unique approach to their merch. Plush toys like Jenna Marbles' dogs. As Jenna rose to fame, so did her 2 dogs. They were frequently included in many of her videos. In fact, the reason she even made the plush toys at all was because her fans submitted so many requests for them. Bobbleheads like these from Smosh. The comedy duo even did a short skit featuring Anthony's bobblehead titled "My Bobblehead is Evil." The videos gained millions of views. Now imagine how many sales they made from that one video. Kitchenware like My Drunk Kitchen, wine glasses, shot glasses, and mason jars. This is an awesome example of practical merch that closely ties back to the channel's theme. If your fame is built on drinking and cooking, why not sell the stuff you drink and cook with? Are you noticing a pattern? These influencers went well beyond the call of duty and truly listened to their fans and understood their needs. It sounds really simple, but you'd be surprised how many influencers and companies alike don't pay close enough attention to what their audience is saying. You can go to sites like Big Cartel or Etsy to draw further inspiration and see what other social media stars are selling, even what average people are selling. And of course, don't forget to talk to your fans. Even if they're just a few, they will be your best source of ideas. Now, here's what I like to do once I have an idea list. Collect the designs and inspiration and put them on a Pinterest board. Yes, a Pinterest board. Pinterest is great for housing creative ideas all in one place. Once you've narrowed your merch down to a few choices, you can easily test what sells best using an on-demand merch service. We're going to get into that a little more in the next step. Have you ever bought a product from an online influencer in the past? How'd you like it? The best way to start thinking about where you want to sell your merch is by looking through your own fan inventory if you have it. In fact, that's exactly why we started using Teespring for shirts ourselves. Our friends Bart and Joe gave us a couple of JK Films merch tees, and we were like, wow, these are really soft. Let's use this for our company. When you're judging merch quality, nothing beats having a physical product in hand. And a lot of these t-shirt companies will provide you samples so you can make a better decision, and they'll do this for free. It's as simple as just reaching out to them. We've compiled a list of our favorite merch providers in the downloadable spreadsheet doc included in this course. You'll get a digestible list of the most common companies, pros and cons of each, and other super useful information that we wish we had when we started. Use this list to pick a few really good options. Determining who you select will be based on your unique needs, the kind of merchandise you want to sell, and how you want to sell it. Now let's talk about designing your merch. Go beyond the logo when thinking about designs and look to your fan surveys, interactions, and comments for inspiration. Think about the larger demographic or group your fans fit into. Is there a way your designs can speak to them while also appealing to a larger, more universal audience? If so, your sales will dramatically increase. Just look at this t-shirt design from Philip DeFranco. Any fan would know that monkey themes show up a lot in his videos, but since the t-shirt doesn't directly call out his channel, name, or logo, someone who just likes monkey gear and knows nothing about him might want to buy the t-shirt too. So speak to your audience, but in a way that doesn't exclude people who might not know about you yet on YouTube. Think about how your designs can be applied to a larger demographic. Now, I know the thought of turning design ideas into an actual design can be daunting. Not all of us are gifted designers. But that shouldn't scare you away from creating some awesome merchandise. The internet has made many things cheaper and easier to do, like design, which is why, unless you are an experienced designer, you should absolutely hire one to help you create your merch. Yes, it will require a small initial investment, but the benefits of using an actual designer are 100 times greater than what it'll cost you. When it comes to finding designers, I suggest using crowdsourcing services including 99 Designs and Design Crowd. Step 1 for both services is to submit a creative brief. Give an overview of your brand, design needs, and the kind of products your designs would be featured on. The more detail you give, the better your submissions will be. The next step is to review submissions and give feedback. All the sites out there allow you to share revisions with the artists once you receive initial designs from them. Be as thorough as possible here. The more detail you can provide, the more likely the final product will look exactly how you envision it. And feel free to survey your audience again. Send out an email with a couple designs that you like and see which one they like the best. There's another way where you can get awesome designs that's absolutely free, and that's by running a fan submission contest. Any follower who's willing to submit artwork to you is definitely a dedicated fan at heart, which is why running a contest is a great way to get those true fans involved. It's also super easy to do. Just upload a video on your channel that covers the following points. 1, announces the contest. 2, gives a hard start and end date as to when you'll be closing submissions and closing the contest. You want to give fans time, but also create a sense of urgency. A 1 to 2 week period is ideal. 3, succinctly covers what you're looking for in the designs and the criteria you'll be using to judge submissions. And lastly, you want to have some sort of reward to incentivize them. And that can be be as simple as a shout out on your social media. You don't have to make the reward monetary. The next step is promoting your merchandise. So far, we've covered what it takes to sell your merch successfully, the kind of products you can sell, and how you can go about designing your merch. Now comes the fun part, promoting your stuff. Merch promotion videos are just like any other video you've already made for your YouTube channel, except you have the potential to make a lot of money from a single video. But you absolutely have to go about selling your merch the right way in order to maximize your sales. Here's my first piece of advice. Do not transform your channel into a blatant sales pitch for your products. Be thoughtful about selling. The last thing you want is to turn your videos into one of those cheesy late night infomercials. You know, the ones that have the same male narrator voice who puts an exclamation point at the end of every sentence, repeats an 800 number more times than you can count, and throws in about 50 extra bonus gifts with retail value. Don't be that guy. Remember, people come to your channel because they like your content. That doesn't mean they will automatically like what you are selling. What's an easy way to pitch your merchandise without coming across like a douche? Use it or wear it in one of your videos. You can even wear it before you start selling it. That way people will be like, where can I buy that t-shirt? Also, you can use all your social media accounts, not just YouTube. Instagram is perfect for showing off your merch. Keep the messaging varied with each platform you promote on. Try to switch up the wording and descriptions so you don't sound like a broken record to fans who follow you across all your accounts. Now, with that said, the one method that has proved to be the most valuable for us time and time again is something I like to call pressure promotions. Hallmark of a pressure promotion is urgency. Great example is actually what I did last week. I went to an online retailer, filled up the shopping cart with clothes I wanted to buy. The thing is, I completely transferred it. Spent 3 days cart for a while. And advertising that all items were 50% off for the next 20 hours. Crazy. It's available. Purchasing this products that are limited edition that will available again. Don't want to miss your one urgency. Along with the formula we use to develop used by both us and Aria. It's less than 2 pages. To set up merch program yourself. Start. And after that, sure can all of that. I love supporting don't just don't and I people shall see who must follow videos with why a long decade of people do that thing I issue like your content. I've a couple of touchdowns making it 20 to 15 of the 13 of the blog posts on most popular but don't be misled. You think, well, your own what you're going to post process bring buy a sandwich. That is a transaction. You want to know that truly you hear that, you might even start thinking, that I won't see that. Why is she doing? And it's and why what compels you to do that?
Anytime I read this article, I'm like, oh my god, like, this is smarter. I read it. I felt like,
My friend was about small content. This helps them not you create content. Now you're saying successful campaign. Google free content incredible. Here's an example. Want to be a company here, or do you want to be the next question is, know I got value. Two. Start worrying about again. Too frequently or not frequently enough. The value of 10% of your pitch matters, and your content will be so good that you don't need to do a pitch. But that's not how most people need to push. All you can do is basketball. Your audience. I think another reason why next is important. I really want to hit my goal. I'll be hired at right now. You know where I do now in the world. See, overcome your pitch. Again, whether or not people donate to you is only the back one from getting down. What are you? What I give value? How is your that the passion by and second part technical